Lafayette and Miner's story was effectually refused approval, and Lee encouraged Gordon to instead utilize one of Marvel Comics' own leading lights to craft the story, someone with a deep understanding of Tony Stark. That's when Roy Thomas was given the job of coming up with a suitable story treatment. The character of Iron Man had already been profoundly influenced by the contributions of Thomas. As a writer and editor, Thomas's work on Iron Man during the late 60s and early 70s marked a significant era in the character's development, introducing complex themes, enhancing the mythos, and solidifying Iron Man's place in the Marvel Universe. Thomas also co-created characters like Vision, whose stories would later intertwine with Iron Man's in the broader Avengers narrative, showcasing his ability to expand the Marvel Universe in meaningful ways. Once Thomas had completed a comprehensive story outline, incorporating notes from Gordon and Lee, he urged them to bypass Universal at this stage, as outlines are notoriously poor sellers of a film, and instead work together to revise the story before any final meeting with the studio took place. Thomas expressed gratitude for the opportunity and dispatched a highly detailed 23-page storyline. The Roy Thomas treatment was never developed into a full screenplay, and Gordon would take another rewrite at it, implementing his own ideas and characters. Concerns remained over budget and the logistics of filming. Privately, Universal Pictures' executives sought assurances that didn't exist that such an outlay could guarantee a respectable box office return. The film industry was on the cusp of a digital revolution, but the technology had not yet reached the sophistication required to bring the complex world of Iron Man to life with the fidelity and spectacle that audiences would expect from a big-budget superhero movie. The character of Iron Man, with his sleek, metallic suit capable of flight, its repulsor rays, and an array of high-tech weaponry, presented a unique set of challenges that were beyond the reach of practical effects and the early stages of computer-generated imagery available at the time. RoboCop had been referenced several times as a how-to guide in how to make the most out of practical effects that were a mix of costume design, animatronics, stop-motion animation, and makeup effects. The RoboCop suit was seen as a masterpiece of costume design, combining fiberglass and other materials in multiple pieces that gave the actor some mobility, despite being quite cumbersome. Animatronics had, in particular, played a crucial role in conveying the detailed expressions around the eyes, which were essential for conveying emotion and humanity within the machine. The thinking was that if it could work for RoboCop, then it could work for Iron Man. This didn't, of course, take into account the numerous flying scenes. Further discussions would float the idea of wire work and harnesses. An actor could be suspended on wires to create the illusion of flying. Such an undertaking would require careful choreography and significant physical effort from the actor and stunt personnel involved. Wires could then be meticulously removed during post-production to create a seamless look of unaided flight, a method that was particularly effective in close-up shots and scenes where detailed expressions and movements were crucial. Other techniques considered by the producers were models and dummies. For shots where Iron Man was seen from a distance, or in rapid flight, full-scale models and dummies could be used if crafted with a high level of detail to match the appearance of Iron Man's armor. They would be either suspended on wires against backdrops, or used in conjunction with miniature sets to create dynamic flying scenes that would have been too dangerous or impossible to film with a live actor. Blue screen technology was also a major consideration to composite the flying Iron Man against various backgrounds. An actor could be filmed against a blue screen, which would later be replaced with matte paintings or other background plates to create the story's diverse settings, from the skies above Los Angeles to the interior of Stark Industries. This technique would allow for a greater range of motion and more complex flight patterns to add excitement and drama to the action sequences. CGI could be used sparingly, mainly to smooth out transitions between practical effects shots, or to add elements that were difficult to achieve with physical effects alone, such as the fiery trail of the repulsors. The careful blending of CGI with practical effects, and possibly even traditional animations, could have helped to create a more immersive and believable flying experience. The major worry that hindered the film from receiving a green light was that during this era, CGI was in its infancy, having been used in a limited capacity in films such as Tron and The Abyss. Now, while these films demonstrated the potential of digital effects, the technology was not yet capable of seamlessly integrating CGI with live-action footage to the extent required for a character like Iron Man, whose appeal heavily relies on the believability and impressiveness of his suit's capabilities. Practical effects, it was argued, would have struggled to achieve the fluidity of motion and complexity of the Iron Man suit without appearing cumbersome or unrealistic. The studio feared a portrayal of Iron Man that felt clunky and unconvincing, failing to capture the sleekness and power that are hallmarks of the character. Moreover, the visionary aspects of Tony Stark's world, filled with futuristic technology and elaborate action sequences, demanded a level of visual effects innovation that would only become feasible with the advent of more advanced CGI techniques in the years to follow. During this period of 1990 through 1993, films like Jurassic Park and Terminator 2 would showcase what was possible with CGI, setting new standards for visual effects in cinema. But it wasn't until the late 2000s, with significant advancements in CGI technology, that a film like Iron Man could be realized with the visual spectacle and technical precision required to faithfully bring the character and his universe to the big screen, marking a new era for superhero films. Universal's failure to commit would result in the rights lapsing and moving over to 20th Century Fox. Thanks for watching!